I believe Jesus was not just a man. He is the Son of God and the incarnation of God. The verses in the Bible, such as Jesus is one with God, and his miracles, healing the sick, raising the dead, prove this.
We acknowledge that Jesus was great and performed many miracles by the will of Allah. But from the Islamic perspective, he was a prophet, a human, and a servant of Allah. Allah is one, has no children, and none is equal to him.
But if Jesus gave his life for mankind, saved people, then isn't that a sign of divinity?
No. The Quran says that Jesus acted only by Allah's permission and will. For example, he healed the sick, raised the dead, but all by Allah's power and command. The Quran, chapter 5, verses 110 says.
So you're saying Jesus is not God, but his works were done by God's power. What kind of distinction is that?
The distinction is that Jesus' actions happened according to God's command. In Islam, no one can claim divinity except Allah. Just as prophets carry out God's instructions, Jesus did the same. He was a user of God's power, not the source of it.
But the Bible says Jesus is one with God. Can't you accept that?
From the Islamic perspective, that means Jesus was aligned with God's purpose and plan, but not that he was divine. The prophets act through God's guidance, while God is unique and has no son.
So you're saying Jesus is not God, but his works were done through God's power. What kind of difference is that?
The difference is that Jesus acted according to God's command. In Islam, no one besides Allah can claim divinity. Prophets fulfill Allah's instructions, and Jesus did the same. He was a user of God's power, not the owner of it.
But the Bible says Jesus is one with God. Can't you accept that?
From the Islamic point of view, that means Jesus cooperated with God's purpose and plan, but it does not mean divinity. A prophet's work happens through God's command, while God himself is one and without a son.
But wasn't Jesus sinless before God? Isn't that proof of divinity?
Prophets are always obedient to Allah, so they are kept free from sin. But this is a blessing granted by Allah. Being sinless does not mean being God. Calling a prophet God is shirk in Islam.
So Muslims respect Jesus, but not as God.
Correct. We honor Jesus as a great prophet and servant of Allah. He was a guide for mankind, but not equal to Allah.
So your foundation is the Quran, which says Allah is one without a son, and Jesus was only a prophet?
Yes, and according to our belief, God's power and Jesus' miracles are two separate things. The works belong to Allah, while Jesus was a prophet.